everyone, Fenris here, and today we'll be talking about patch 4.2 for SFO and why you won't get it. Yeah, I know, a bit controversial title, but you came here, so I wanna talk about it. Important thing, first and foremost, for the full understanding, because I'm quite sure there will be a lot of confusion and many of you will be thinking that the SFO is dead, there won't be any updates, I'm coming, things like that. There will be an update for an actual game patch, but it won't be on official page of SFO, it will be in a beta state, in testing realm, let's call it, yeah? Why? I'm gonna explain in this video. So, first and foremost, there are several reasons for why is such a state, and at the end I will get to the point of why it's happening. First of all, the patch that was released, 4.2, may not have a lot of groundbreaking changes, but it has a lot of balance changes, like Rampage, new attributes, Lizard main changes, new units of course, and other stuff that we as modders usually like to use. Have impact on the game. So, especially for the SFO, because as you remember, as you know, as we're playing SFO, or in vanilla even, usually vanilla game is giving a nice feature, let's call it, and this feature is usually never used again in anything ever besides this DLC. Good examples are like Indestructible trait, I mean not called a trait, the flag for the ability, yeah? So you can make that the ability makes that the unit is indestructible, so it doesn't lose any health no matter what happens to it. In vanilla, there may be 3 or 4 abilities that use it. There were only the DLC stuff that receive it, like Lizardman ROR unit, there was Valkia, and I don't remember anything else, being honest right now. So you can see that this effect could have some use in other abilities, yeah? Other factions, maybe not every faction, but 1, 2 more abilities, which would be cool. That's how we usually do with SFO. A good example is that the thing that is in works right now, you have the Executor attribute that was added with the Shadows of Change, the first bunch of it, yeah, the first pack of this DLC that was just expanded by the CA, which is fantastic, by the way. So the Executor was doing that under a specific threshold, the unit that had an Executor was able to kill that unit if it had the health under the threshold. Yeah, you get the idea. Yeah? You have the Executor, then units beneath a specific health value can be like executed. And Yonbo only has it in vanilla, but we thought, why not give an opportunity to Witch Hunter to do it? Because, you know, he's an executor in lore. That would be very fitting for the character. And that's what we are doing right now. There will be a special trait that you can get as Witch Hunter that allows you to execute people. Maybe not people, but, you know, enemies of the Empire. But you get the idea. So that's one thing that we need to look at. Rampage, big thing, big part of the rework that we were doing for the SFO and the corruptions, for example, that we are working right now. We wanted to make that very high corn corruption is given Rampage. It cannot give it right now because Rampage was changed a bit, so we need to do a new ability. Of course, this is like an hour of work or maybe 2 to make it working again, but still, there are a lot of small things like that that we need to look at with this DLC. And usually, you know, I'm not the fastest person in terms of modding, but I always want to be very thorough, you know, very detailed with going into SFO and all the changes, everything with a lot of care. So I would estimate that this update would took around 3, maybe 2 weeks if properly. So we are talking about mid of March or end of March. And then we move to the second problem here, and the reason why there won't be an official update for this DLC, this, how to call it, let's get post DLC update, let's call it, something like that. So the reason is quite simple. It's because we have a Thrones of Decay that is being released on April. We don't have a date just yet, but from what we heard, CA is not planning any delays right now, and imagine that we are releasing the DLC, the update, And week after CA announces the DLC, because usually the DLC is being announced at least 3-4 weeks before the release, and boom, 1 month and the SFO is dead again. Sadly, our main update, so the third reason, let's call it, that we are working out, so the massive rework of traits, massive rework of corruption stances, like a base game systems that we announced back in December, I think. Yeah, it was in December. Is still not ready. So to make this update for 4.2 working, we would need to revert those changes. But this is not a simple change. Why? Because we changed a lot of effects in SFO to make them working. We added a lot of effects to make them working. And we would need to be working on a version of the game that is right now public. That is vastly inferior to the build that we are working on. So imagine we do all those changes that patch 4.2 does, and this is a lot of tables, only for the public. It takes those 2-3 weeks, yeah? And then we cannot just simply put them again in our actual build, yeah? The better one that we are working on. It's not that easy, yeah? It's easier, yeah, than making it from scratch, but moving them would again take a lot of time. And the time that we would like to spend on making the best product possible, the SFO better version that we are aiming for. So those are the main 3 reasons, yeah? But don't be afraid, you will be still able to play SFO on patch 4.2. Just more, I would call it in a beta state, for sure in March. I don't know when just yet, but with those 4.2 stuff, because as I was saying, we are working on a massive rework of traits right now. This is the most important thing for the upcoming update, because we are doing that every character in game, generic character in game, general, warrior priest, archlector, vampire lord, vampire hero, necromancer lord, necromancer hero, is getting 10 unique starting traits. There are not going to be any generic traits anymore in the game. Every trait that you are getting for your character, you can get for your character, will be impactful, but quite powerful, I would say. Maybe not as powerful as the best that the high levels one, but let's say mid-tier, impactful, and specifically tailored for this character. So for example, Lord General for the Empire in SFO on foot is able to have a pistol. Yeah, this is a very cool thing. And you get a trait, can get the trait that this pistol power is increased by 100%. So you're encouraged to use him on foot. But not only that, he's also buffing the artillery, so he have a bit more utility. And there are a lot of examples like that. You can get a character, I don't know how it will be working because we need to change it, that our character is more savage, the war boss is more savage, and is getting a rampage, better stats, but he's having a native rampage as an ability. I don't know how it will be working right now because, as I said, getting to the point 1 of this discussion with patch 4.2, we would need to rework it, yeah? So that's the general idea. Sadly, officially, let's call it, like on SFO Steam page, Grimhammer 3, the mod won't be updated until the Thrones of Decay, won't be touched at all. We won't be updating it, but it will be updated. First version is set to be in middle of March, so 2-3 weeks from now, and will contain patch 4.2 stuff and several traits. And still, it's a more version to test, to have some fun, and not actually playing, I would say, because some stuff can be not tested. Yeah, but we are also working on some other stuff. We are looking on Skaven because we think that they need a bit more love, especially in terms of the Undercities, thanks to the Changeling stuff. We want to make Changeling a bit better because we all know he sadly didn't get some needed changes for the campaign, so we're looking at them. We are also looking for the key stuff, all the factions. We want to Legendary Lords, especially the roster, to work a bit better because Kislev, as new units are quite cool. This is like a very mishmash unit faction right now. There's a big mix of everything and also nothing, sadly. So We'll be working on that, so when the DLC releases, there will be like a massive stuff. We have also some smaller stuff planned, but as I was saying, the biggest rework goes to the corruptions. That the corruption will be way more dynamic, stances, commandments for all your provinces, and also, which is very important for me, the traits. So full control with SFO will be with the traits. Many of those traits are Patreon's idea. If you're a SFO patron, you can go on our Discord. We have a special channel that you can give ideas, but some ideas are quite crazy, but I think they are cool and they change how you play your character. And yeah, that's more or less the news. So don't spread the panic, SFO is still there, but it's not going to be on unofficial channels anymore until the DLC, because we want to really focus on finishing this update, and we don't want to mod to just work for the month, yeah? So the next update will be quite massive. I think one of maybe the biggest in Warhammer 3 that we had, not counting, of course, the Immortal Empires, the Storm of Chaos was the name. But again, I think that's the better solution. We were discussing this with the team for quite some time, and everyone agreed that, yeah, let's focus on that, let's deliver something better, and you can always roll back. I know that some mods won't be working with rollback, but sadly I don't see the different way to do it, yeah? You will be able to play on the beta version will be playable, it can contain bugs, but again, we think that's the better solution for everyone, and you will be also having the glimpse and more impactful feedback of yours will be impacting the new update that we'll be releasing after the Thrones of Decay, with those massive reworks and changes to the game, the base game, and of course more customization options, feedback, and so on and so on and so on. Yeah, you get the idea. Okay, so that's all for the news. What I can say right now: don't be angry. Have a lovely day, weekend, week, month, year, life. And I was Venris, and I'm out. See you.